Me, that's what I call making an entry.
Oh, I thought your porridge was ready then, Bill.
I wouldn't know how to make it, unfortunately.
Oh, I bet Mrs. Carne looks after you very well.
Excuse me, Mrs. Carne is tucked up quietly in bed. I'm looking after her.
A very good morning to you, Bill. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks. Bit fed up with the weather, Tom. As you know, last night and the night before, there were big games planned for the Bridge Meadow. Had a pass to go to see both, zap, both postponed. And today is even worse. And I don't know what'll happen tomorrow. We'll let's go well, I suppose, and wait and see until then.
Yeah. We will wait and see, indeed. And of course, some of these fixtures, they've already got their final dates penned in. So there really is a bit of a squeeze now to get that fixture in.
Yeah, the Senior Cup is okay. The finals, 23rd, is it, of April? So there's
29th, I think.
29th, that's another week even. So that's, there's plenty of time. It's just so frustrating because from now on, teams are going to be playing, twice a week in midweek to catch up as well. So it's not easy,
Yeah. No, it's going to be quite a squeeze, and it's just added pressure to those clubs as well, isn't it? It's like, oh, we've still got that in the back of our mind. We've still got that in the back of our mind. It's something that they're just waiting for now.
Yeah, indeed, it's hard work. But anyway, they sort themselves out the weather. Every year we say, oh, the cricket's going to be slow starting because of the wet, and every year they start on time. And I see there's a nice message there from Helen Marie. She must be a lovely lady. She's on every week. Hello, Helen Marie.
Bonada, Helen, indeed. But we'll stay with Yogi Bridge Meadow Stadium, because if those matches weren't on in the week, what are the chances? Oh no, they're away this week, so it makes no odds. But Haverfordwest County, they're away to Flint, aren't they?
They are indeed. The Flint play at the Essity Stadium. Do you know what their nickname is? I'll ask the pair of you. Do you know?
The Silkmen.
I'm so impressed.
You're teaching me very well here each week, Bill. I take it in.
I'm impressed. Yeah, they play. I'm almost speechless. Yeah, you showing Tom a thing or two. Yeah, they play in black and white stripes, and they've met 3 times. Of course, they met in the general part of the season. Haverfordwest drew 1-1 at home and won 1-0 away. And in this second half, in the conference, they won 3-1 at home. Now, they'd love a repeat score like that tomorrow, because we say it every week, Tom, every week, Gina, every game is a must-win. If you look at the situation now, Haverfordwest is still 3 points clear ahead of Pontypridd, who are on a good run. But Haverfordwest, as far as I'm concerned, it was 2 points lost, not 1 point gained last week against Flint. Cracking goal by Jack Wilson, who's playing like a dream. Give corner away, goal straight away. They go 2-1 ahead, long throw in, goal again, home goal this time by Jordan Davis. And it's a pity because they're playing such nice football under Tony Pennock. And so it's another must win. It was nice to see Kyle Patton there. And perhaps we could give a shout out to Ben Fawcett as well. He wasn't playing last week. Poor boy's in hospital. He's had a stomach problem.
Oh, no.
I spoke to his mum, Karen, last night. And she said he is on the mend. He's out of hospital now anyway. And he's looking forward to being back in a couple of weeks. But our best wishes to Ben, because you know what a tough one he is. He's a little guy, but he battles hard. And his sort of play is missed up front. So get well soon, Ben Fawcett.
Yeah, get well soon from all of us at Pure West Radio, definitely. Pontypridd, the quick word on them. They've had a brilliant second half of the season, haven't they? I was convinced they were going to go back down, but they have stormed on.
Yeah, they beat Haverfordwest. I've got a bit of a theory. I think they blind people with those orange shirts they got. It's like watching someone playing football on a motorway with the shirts they got.
It's a good tactic. We'll stick with football actually and look at the Manderwood Pembrokeshire League football, which is getting very exciting in that Division 1 as we come to the tail end of the season. Because when do all the fixtures need to be played by, Bill? There's a deadline, isn't there?
You asked me a trick question, and the answer is by the time the cricket starts, ideally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there is a cut-off time. I think it's late April. The game at Haverfordwest, the finalists, traditionally one of the last games of the season. So they're playing games all the time now to get their fixtures finished. There's not a full programme this week. There are 5 games in the First Division. Goodwick go home, play Fishguard local derby up the hill or down the hill. There's a lot of sort of, I don't know how you call it, angst, I suppose, between the clubs always. They both want to be the top. It's a bit like Carew and Cresselly in the cricket.
Yeah.
Goodwick won 2-0 up at Tregroyce, so they'll be looking to win that comfortably tomorrow and will be favourites to win that, as will Moncton, who are home. They're 5th. They're playing Tissue 11th. I can make one prediction, though. Moncton won 9-0, would you believe, in St Ishmael's.
Cool.
I don't think they'll win by that again. Bottom of the table clash, big points needed here. St Clair's, who were 12th, play Penna Robins, who were 9th. Penna won 3-2 the last time they met with a last-minute goal. And interesting little sort of game here, another semi-local derby. Kilgetty were 7th, Gina. And who do they play?
Carew.
And I think it's fair to say there's no love lost there either, in the nicest way. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
And of course, the other game is Haken United at home. They've got a pile of fixtures to catch up, but they know if they won every game, but they've got to go to Goodwick. If they won every game, they can still win the league after a slow start. So they beat Neyland 6-3 at Neyland. So they're at home against the Nomads tomorrow. So interesting.
It is really interesting. I think that Kilgetty Carew fixture is going to be the one to watch. Both similar in the table, both like competitively, like they're tough teams, aren't they? There's going to be, I think that's going to be the exciting one.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, off the pitch, it's like Carew, Cresselly, Gina's. Some of the Cresselly players play for Carew in football.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Kilgetty and Carew, there's almost a crossover point where some of the players have played for both clubs. Yeah, it's
off the pitch they're best of friends, but on the pitch it's down to business.
Get your waterproof hat on tomorrow and go down and watch.
Oh, if I wasn't discoing, Bill, I'd be there.
It's that old chestnut.
I'm impressed, yeah.
And then let's jump then to we'll look at local rugby first, and then we'll take our trip down the M4. But let's start off with rugby here in Pembrokeshire. Narberth are at Cardiff Met. Narberth, we were really impressed with them at the beginning of the season. They've had a few shaky results recently, though, haven't they?
They're playing in a bit. I mean, people in Pembrokeshire, unless you watch them play, don't realise the standard they're at, Tom. They're playing teams like Pontypool and Nice, who were feared in Europe not all that long ago. Narberth are at home to Cardiff Met. They won 30 points to 10 when they played in the capital. And Narberth will expect to win that, although it's 7th against 4th. But again, the pitch there, that's going to be... they've worked wonders on the drainage there, but it's going to be a wet day. Top clash, I suppose, is Division 1 West, where Crymych, who are still proudly atop the table, haven't lost a game all season, are playing Llangenech, who are 3rd. They haven't played against each other this season. The previous game was postponed. That Park Lloyd Thomas is a heavy pitch. They won't mind me saying that. And I talked to Adrian Howells there, my contact there. I would say I was a mud heap, and he gets quite angry. I never understand that. Yeah. And then our two basement battlers, Pembroke travelled to Aberystwyth. They lost 73-19 at home to Aber. Good luck to Pembroke tomorrow. If they can get a team, they'll do well to go there. And they could well be off anyway with the weather, as I keep saying. And Whitland travelled to Llanelli Wanderers, who'd won 34-17 when they played at Pendy Gwyn Ardaf. So, interesting game in Division 2. Tenby United have moved up to 2nd after epic 2 wins recently. Wow. Well done to Jonathan Evans and his team there. And they're home to Carmarthen Athletic, who are 7th. They haven't played before. And Fishguard travelled to Croyce. So the Seagulls should win that. They're 7th. T. Croyce are 10th. But T. Croyce are strong at home. And that's going to be a bit of a battle for Fishguard. They haven't got their strongest side out tomorrow. I've seen their team this morning. And in the Division 3 West, one of my favourite divisions in the whole world, because there's some characters playing there. Look at the first game there. Lampeter was 2nd. They should be top. They got 2 or 3 games in hand. They are the best side in the league. They're at home to St. David's, who are 8th, and playing some good rugby. Now, Lampeter won at St. David's 73-3. That's how topsy-turvy the scores are.
Gosh.
So I don't think St. David's will lose by that many this time. And even worse, Langham are at home to Aberaeron, who are top now, but have played those games more. Good side nonetheless. The score when they played in Aberaeron was 95-0 against the Wasps. No,
Gosh.
I don't know if your nephew was playing tomorrow. He'd be making sure they don't repeat that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be last line of
little sort of
defence probably.
Yes. And then Llanybydr at 10th, playing Cardigan 7th. Cardi's won that last time and played brilliantly last week. Well done to Cardigan. They beat Haverfordwest 26-25. And the last but not least, Neyland, the 6th. They're playing Tregaron, the bottom side. Neyland won 65-5 in Tregaron, and I expect them to win comfortably tomorrow. I'm going to pop along and look there and at Langham. See how young Dyer is getting on there. He's a better rugby player than his uncle, Gina, I can tell you that.
Well, his football is Tom's bag, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, I've played more football than rugby, but I'm just as good at both.
I was going to say useless at both then.
Yeah, it works both ways, sadly.
Yes, if he's just as good, he could be just as bad.
I just want to say, going back to that Pembroke fixture, Pembroke we know have had they've had a tough season. They weren't supposed to stay in that top division, but COVID rules meant that they had to stay there. But they're still fulfilling these fixtures, aren't they? And there's testament to the club.
Well, it is a huge testament to the club, Tom. You know, the danger is that they can get so downhearted that they don't play. They are struggling to find a team every week because of injuries and unavailability. But you've got people there like Darryl Willington as chairman and Dilwyn Williams as president. Dilwyn Williams will chase around on a Friday night and Saturday morning getting players from wherever he can. In Geraint Lewis and Ian Matthews, they got coaches who are very, very good coaches. And if you look at the setup of the club, you've got the pyramid is just right. They've got a first team. They haven't got a second team. They need that. But all the way down from there on, the under 8s, 9s, 10s, 11s, they're all well coached, you know. We've got a women's team. The base is there now. They just got to get out this damn division. Look, I'm sorry to rant on about the WRU because I got another rant about them in a minute. But you know, they're not aware, and all it needed this year was a bit of common sense to say, look, we've got hammered every game last year almost. We've got to keep that division fairly static, but they could have found a club who'd want to play at that level and move up. They could have done it. It just needs a bit of nous.
Yeah.
But they're just not aware, which brings us to the ladies' rugby tomorrow. Isn't it a thrill that we've got Whitland in the plate and Haverfordwest in the bowl playing, would you believe, Gina, at the Principality Stadium? Imagine, you know, running out there. I say to Tom, I was speaking to Jana Neumann yesterday. I've written an article about her. 4 years ago, she'd never picked up a rugby ball. 3 years, she's never picked it up. And now she's running out there. Her sister Lisa's run out there playing for Wales. But Jana's running out there now. So are a lot of others who hadn't picked up a ball until 18 months ago. Haverfordwest nearly folded. Steve Barnett and his fellow coaches waded in there. And they got a team together, and now there are people playing there. Mums who just wanted to have a run round, then they've developed into a cracking team.
Oh, I was going to say I'm a mum of a rugby daughter, but I'm not thinking I want to run round there. I'll wait in the car with my cup of coffee, thanks.
Listen, Gina, we all got our talents, and yours is singing.
Oh, yeah. Not rugby, no.
I didn't say it, no.
But the key, but Gina's just raised a good point there, is that all of these women that are travelling up to Principality, they need their supporters. And as much as sitting in the car with your coffee is one thing other than playing, but Whitland and Haverfordwest, they're going up with coach loads of people to support them and to show how proud we are of them.
That's right. But if you said to me, how do I sum up the West Rugby Union? I praise them for getting those games on at the Principality Stadium. That's amazing. Well done. But what do then? They fit them in a Saturday. Every ladies' rugby match is played on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Whatever they played in the leagues. So this goes to a Saturday, which means that if Haverfordwest have had to postpone their first team game, and they're already way behind, so that the men folk can go along and cheer on the ladies. That's great. Whitland the same. Whitland are managing to carry on playing. But, you know, they need to play them on a Sunday. Make it worse, Wales are playing in Cardiff, Wales ladies, at the same time as the main match, the top game tomorrow. There's 3 tiers. Whitland in the second, Haverfordwest in the third. The top tier will be playing at the same time that Wales are playing in Cardiff.
Oh, that doesn't make sense, does it?
So the top...
I can't explain it. Why can't they play on Sunday?
Yeah.
Because surely you would want all 6 of those teams next door watching the Wales women play again, particularly after their victory last week. That makes zero sense to me.
No, nothing at all. And if you look at it, the Welsh women are in tatters at the moment, but it sums up the house. Now, we've been lucky. We've had a wonderful district representative here in Gordon Ainan, who's stepping down. We'll have an interview with him beforehand because he has to step down. Good morning, Stephen Price is there, Pele, regularly listening. We've got a great district rep, but he's been three periods of 9 years, and he was a year on before that. So he's done 10 years. He's got to go off. That's the rule. Like it or not, it's the rule. But, whoever comes in there, they've lost their voice to a degree. They're now focusing on these very small committees, elite committees, where it was decided at least people from the district had a voice to represent what it was like for Pembrokeshire Rugby, because those people don't know. How can you pay, say they can't pay players and then pay their main guy, what was it, 275,000?
Yeah.
Do me a favour.
Yeah, do me a favour. On that note, we will put our hands together, not clap too loudly into the microphone, for Whitland and for Haverfordwest ladies who are going to be there. Let's hope in the future the organisation and the day and the process gets a bit clearer and a bit better for everyone involved. But we're going to be following them with interest. Bill, I think you're going to catch up with Yana again after the fixture as well.
She'll be on air Monday with us, and we'll have some other very interesting guests on Monday. On a personal note, Tom, for example, Gordon and I would go up and cheer on our girls there. We owe them that. But we've got a full programme of rugby, and I can't be in 2 places. No. And if I don't cover the men's rugby, then it means that goes. You could say you've got to prioritise, but there's no need to prioritise. It needed a little bit of thought. Put them on Saturday and Sunday, and Mrs. Carne will give me 2 passes for that in the circumstances.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And of course, let's not forget there's also a youth match on, which has gained a bit of excitement with Langham doing so well. Haverfordwest against Langham is taking place on Saturday as well. So rugby clashes everywhere.
Oh yeah, but the youth, see, it's the same with the youth. When Langham youth have done well this year, in the sense that they've played a lot of the youth games on a Friday night on the floodlights at the seconds pitch in Langham. It's not the best facility in the world. They won't mind me saying that. And some clubs have complained about the lights. But the crowds there are bigger than the crowds watching the first team on a Saturday.
Yeah.
People like to go out and watch a bit of sport. Now, if there's a Welsh game on in France, why did they have to play that on a Saturday afternoon and say nobody else can play rugby? And but the clubs need to be sort of proactive as well by saying we can't play Saturday afternoon. Well, if we can get a Friday night game, we got floodlights, or could we play so and so on Sunday? Yeah, it's just a jumble at the moment.
It is a jumble. I was going to say something then, but my mind has gone completely blank. So I'm just going to
effect on people, Tom.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say, Langham youth coach. We had Dav Bowen on the show on Monday evening. It's been have a listen back. It's quite amazing for the opportunities that they've been giving the youth. Bill, thank you so much for your time as ever on this Friday morning. It's Feel Good Friday, which means that we passed the playlist over, and you kind of kicked this off, Bill. So no pressure. But what have you gone for?
For the what?
For your song, your Feel Good Friday song.
Well, there's an interest in this for me as well. It's The Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Ooh, good
My
choice.
daughter and my son-in-law, Wendy and Richard, were watching him this week. They went over to New York and watched him, 21,000 in Madison Square Gardens. They said he was quite amazing. And if I was still teaching English, Tom and Gina, I would use The Piano Man as a way of creating metaphorical speech to create pictures. Because there's a lovely line in it which I could listen to over and over again, where it says, "There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin," and he says, "Sing me a song, Mr. Piano Man." I'm not sure. Sing me a melody. I'm not sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. So he's not saying when he was a youngster or when I wore a younger man's clothes.
I like that.
And there's another line talking about where they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. How can you not appreciate the glory of that? So Billy Joel is a great favourite of ours as a family, and I hope people will enjoy that because it's nice.
Lovely. Right, we shall be back again same time next week then, Bill. I look forward to it.
Yeah, and nice to see you coming in with such a dramatic entrance this morning. you are a true professional, madam.
She is indeed. As you can see, for those watching us on social media, coming up next, it is your song request. So stick around on social media. In the meantime, thank you, Bill, as ever. The Piano Man plays for you now. It's Billy Joel as we approach 7:30 on Friday, the 31st of March.
Feel Good Friday with Pem's Paving.